Hello everyone, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video. And welcome to another, a really quick little overview video. I figured I showed this off to you guys. My brand new movie shelf is finally complete. This really tall movie shelf from top to bottom is all done. And I figured I'd just browse through really quickly some of the titles that I have. Sort of like I can call this my Blu-ray DVD collection overview on the new shelf, pretty much. It was very time consuming, that's for sure, but everything is alphabetized and things like that. All my Scream Factory, and like I said before too, you can tell like over here, there's Blu-rays behind what you see in front of the camera here. So there's Blu-rays behind there too. So this is a lot of stuff in this shelf. But I figured I'd just overview some of the stuff I do have that you can see on camera. But up here though, you can see, like, I don't know if you can see it, but over there, like behind this area here, is where all my Scream Factory Blu-rays are at, because I alphabetized the Scream Factory Blu-rays first before I got onto everything, all the other ones that were not Scream Factory, and alphabetize those too. So I'll go through the overview real quick before I start browsing through the titles. The first two shelves are all Blu-rays, the first two shelves, and then everything after that below there are all DVDs. So this thing looks beautiful, all organized. I absolutely love it. It was a pain putting this shelf together, but it was worth it. My back almost gave out trying to alphabetize all these and picking up piles of DVDs and bending over, and you know, my back almost gave out just picking up all these movies and trying to get them alphabetized, but it was definitely worth it. Okay, so I'm gonna go through some of the titles that I have here. I'm gonna start up here in the upper section. I'll mention a couple here and there if I have something to say on them. Here's a really good one right here that not many people know right here. Hangman. Really pretty good found footage horror film about this guy who breaks into this family's home when they're on vacation, walls himself into the home and puts cameras everywhere. When they come back, he's like sneaking around the house at night, spying on them. Pretty creepy found footage horror flick. Go over here now. See Blade Runner, Blair Witch. Let me get a little backup view, so that way it's not too close. Here's a film right here that I cannot recommend enough. Let's see if I can get it over here. Where's it at? Here it is. This is a film I cannot recommend enough to you guys. Cop. This is a film that's easily become one of my favorite films of all time. I absolutely love this movie a lot. If you can get your hands on this film, I would highly recommend you check this film out. Especially get the Blu-ray from Kino Lorber. But I cannot recommend that film enough. Cop, I've talked about that a lot. You can see some Stallone films in there, like Daylight, Demolition Man, the Die Hard films. It's a really cool Blu-ray set to have. Just got this one recently, the ICU Blu-ray from MVD. Okay, so that was the first shelf here. Now we are getting on to the second shelf of the Blu-rays, which is the last shelf for the Blu-rays. As you can see, I put my DC EU Blu-ray digibooks at the very end because they were kind of the bulkier ones out of all of these. So it was kind of like difficult to like try to like organize them the way I did, because they would kind of like stick out because these things are, you know, really bulky. So I just put these at the very end. But you know, the Man of Steel, BVS, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Justice League, and Aquaman. Then here's a film right here that I talked about before too, from Dark Force Entertainment, Point Doom. I did a full-length review on the film and things like that, but if you like really fun like crime movies, like a really over-the-top action with a lot of action and a pretty strange cast of characters, like a really strange cast of people, then that's definitely one I recommend you check out, Point Doom. Right there is my favorite Dolph Lundgren film, Red Scorpion. Also The Punisher. I have both the Punisher films on Blu-ray with Dolph Lundgren and Thomas Jane. Have both of them. Getting on to some of the ones here now. This right here is a really good buddy cop flick right here that I just picked up on Blu-ray. See if I can get it out of here without disturbing anything. But The Rookie. This is a film I highly recommend. If you like buddy cop flicks, this is one of the more underrated ones that's out there from 1990 with Clint Eastwood and Charlie Sheen. Really fun flick. Also directed by Clint Eastwood. This one's really cool right here. The Arrow Video Blu-ray of The Stuff. Love that new artwork on there too. Tango and Cash, my favorite buddy cop flick. Just picked this up on Blu-ray not too long ago with Stallone and Kurt Russell. Now this is a really cool one that I have here. My favorite show of all time, that 70s show, the complete series. This thing now is apparently out of print and very hard to find. From what I heard, when I last saw on Amazon, it goes for like $500. So if you find this for a pretty decent price, and if you're a fan of the show, I would highly recommend you get that. If you can find it for a decent price. It's one of my most prized possessions that I have. Another really good one here, VFW. It's another good one right there. Kind of like a mixture of like Assault on Precinct 13 with Grindhouse. It's pretty cool stuff. So now we're gonna go into some of the DVDs now. Now I also own Cop on DVD because I love the film so much. I want to give a shout out to Rob for recommending me that movie, The Cowboy Way. Had a great time watching that movie. It's a good movie. Now this is another one of my prized possessions, the Benny Hill collection. One of my personal favorite like shows of all time is Benny Hill, and I also love the Mr. Bean set that I have. That's a pretty good George Romero flick, Bruiser. Underrated Robin Williams film, Cadillac Man. Okay. This is going to be kind of awkward. I gotta sit on the floor for this one. Gotta sit on the floor. Okay, getting down to the last two shelves here. Here's another great set, the Elm Street box set that I have. Also up there, the Friday the 13th one that I have from Crystal Lake to Manhattan. That's a pretty rare box set to find now. And I think this Elm Street box set's pretty rare too, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a really good set to have. And if you want to pause and like look at some of the titles, you can. I'm going as slow as I can, so that way I'm not going too fast for you guys. I'm about to say I was going to mention one here somewhere. Where is it? Oh yeah, over here, the Porky's collection, the Porky's films. This is pretty cool here, the Rambo trilogy. The old tin that I remember when I first watched Rob back in the day, when I first found Rob's videos. That was one of the first things. The first thing I ever saw from Rob back in the day was that box set of Friday the 13th. Then here's another one that I saw him do back in the day, was reviewing that exact Rambo trilogy set, which is pretty cool. Now we're getting on to the final shelf here. As you can see back there, I have the whole Three Stooges collection. And these are some of the ones that they're kind of just filler. Same thing with the Jimmy Kennedy Experiment Season 1. But they're just kind of down here because they're kind of like, because that's where I realized, like, I'll fill them in later in the alphabetical section, but I put so much work into doing this, not anytime soon. I gotta get the Blu-ray of this at some point, the double feature of Waxwork 1 and 2. Yep, and so there you have it. That's the entire movie section. Let's see if I can get up here. Okay, I'm back up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little collection overview. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. You guys take care.